I just wanted to get it right once the whole season. Like, I just wanted to get that right once, and I think I kind of got it. I just killed the music a little too much, though, I think.
Oh, you got it. You nailed it.
Can you even hear the music? Okay, well, Joey normally plays this like 9 times. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit. How's that? You know what? Season kinks at the end of the year. There we go. A little higher. Anyway, we're killing the music. We're killing the music completely. I'm getting that thing out of here. Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is the season finale episode of the Target Score Brampton podcast. He is your co-host, D. Balsera. I am your other co-host, Matt Bonomi. We have a ton of stuff to get to today, D. We are recapping the season that was for this Brampton Honey Badgers team. Of course, a lot to celebrate. We're going to have a very special guest on the show, as you can read on that top ticker there. Head coach Alex Cerda.
Hold up.
We them boys, sorta boys. Almost gave into that too. He will join the show at some point. We're expecting him in probably about 10, 15 minutes or so. And we're going to ask him all the burning questions that folks wondered throughout this 2026 season. We also are here to celebrate this beautiful calendar year for the Brampton Honey Badgers and all their accomplishments. So we've got a ton of stuff that we are going to cover. If you have any questions too, if you have any questions that you want us to ask the big man in the big chair, head coach Alex Cerda, please throw them in the comment section and let us know what you would like. There's Stat Guy Ty again. I can't hear you guys, but hello. Hey, well, we learned the last time that when Stat Guy Ty can't hear us, as D goes to just pull up the stream to make sure he actually can hear us, it's actually Stat Guy Ty doing his own stuff. That's why he can't hear us.
He needs to get himself a box of Q-tips and clean the wax out of his ears.
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't think Winnipeg has any. I don't think Winnipeg has Q-tips. That was the one thing I was trying to figure out too.
Yeah, we went to Shoppers looking specifically for it, and we couldn't find it. Come on.
Okay, D. Well, first of all, before we get into all the Cerda boy stuff in this season, again, that was such a success for this Brampton Honey Badgers team. Off the record, while nobody from Winnipeg is in this stream or watching right now, did you enjoy your time in Manitoba?
I guess we've only been able to talk about the end of the season on the shared network and not on our individual podcast. So maybe there's some Brampton fans that are just tuning in or will watch this later on that will be hearing us share our experience for the first time. And what a great time it was, Matt. It's funny. I was with somebody yesterday and I'm just like, it was a short trip. It was actually my father-in-law. And I was just like, it was a short trip, but it's going to be one of the highlights of my year and the short amount of time that we went. What a blast it was. Again, I can't say enough about the people of Winnipeg and how much they embraced us and the love that was shown. I think selfishly, we hope that we can make another trip out there someday for basketball. But I know my wife really wants to go see some polar bears. So maybe that's the next time I actually go.
That seems to be the one thing that keeps popping up, right? Like your wife wanting to see polar bears. I think that's like, when you just celebrated an anniversary, right? Congratulations on that as Monday. Well. What year was it?
3 long years, man.
Okay, so you could have. Whoa. I'm not saying anything after the 3 long years.
Yeah, she doesn't like you as it is, so I wouldn't add any extra commentary on that.
She hates me. I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna let that ride. But yeah, honestly, it was an awesome trip. I mean, the one thing I think that we both thought too, like you just said, kind of, it was a short-lived trip. But I wish that we had more time there because it seemed like there's a ton to explore. Once again, special shout out to Joey Slattery for convincing us to go there. And then we got to hang out with the other Target Score podcast guys as well, which was a super, super, super fun time. Shocking.
His name is Taylor. Come on.
Yeah, I know the name. It's just like, I don't want to give him street cred, man. I just say other guys. I don't want to give him that much recognition. And also shout out to Joey last night doing a season recap live show at Finn McCool's in Winnipeg.
Wasn't it just an episode of Drink Champs? Like, weren't they just...
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I texted right away. I'm like, are these guys all going to be hammered on here? What's going on? But it was nice because he gave... I
was trying to flag that, I didn't know what the rules were about drinking online like
just
that.
Report it right away. He had a lot of the Target Score podcast fans hanging out there and the folks that follow along. Again, thanks to them for hanging out all season with us, but they got a chance to pop in and talk shop with Joseph and company. Emphasis on and company. We had Smirkio on there, I believe. Greg, I believe, was another guy, and Flexo made an appearance, but it was a ton of fun. It looked like a blast and a nice way to cap off a crazy season here in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. But again, the focus of this podcast today, all on the Brampton Honey Badgers. So we just flush all that Winnipeg stuff right out of our system. Probably a bad day to be wearing this color too. Kind of like a light blue.
I thought for sure my bingo card had you wearing your Cerda Boys shirt today, but
I thought about it, but I think it's in the wash, dude.
I was gonna say it probably needs to be in the wash with how many times you wore it.
Well, that's part of the problem, man. Like I think I washed that thing like 3. It's been worn like
only the real ones will know.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't even want to like. But you know what? I will say there were a ton of requests. There were a ton of requests for a Cerda Boys t-shirt. So we've heard your requests, and we are thinking about merchandising in the future. So we got a couple cool shirt ideas that we might make happen here. If not, the company's gonna fold.
But we got Cerda coming on in like 7-8 minutes here. But let's quickly talk about our thoughts before he comes on about the season and how it turned out. Obviously up and down season, hot start. We had started planning the parade. I think we reached out to the city of Brampton and we asked if we could shepherd it and lead the charge on that and drive a few vehicles. We were printing t-shirts, and then we hit a bit of a lull. We lost some players to the summer league, and as expected with any CBL season, there's some roster shifting around, and obviously the tail end of the season had its share of controversies as well. But you and I got to see this team play in the finals, and I don't think we could be more proud of what Coach Cerda and this staff were able to put together in terms of an entertaining season for us as fans.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? The tough thing is, and I want to ask Cerda about this too, because in his eyes, I would probably say, like most coaches would say, like they're competitive, right? And if they don't win, that's a failure of a season. In a lot of coaches' eyes. I mean, there are a lot of things that you could celebrate and that are good, but I think he's really competitive, obviously, and we know that. And he has a lot to prove in his own mind. As much as the success that they had this year, I think that this season will go down as one where he obviously was so close, and he'll always have that taste in his mouth of, man, we were knocking on the door there. We lost by, what was it, like 15 points or something in the final. But for folks that have been around this Brampton team, I mean, this is like we just won the championship twice over, because everything was such a success. The front office, the players, the staff, everybody. We went from like night to day, and then we just like, what is it, day and night? It's a night and day difference, whatever the saying is. We went from good to bad, or bad to good, and then we just stayed in good. I'm having something's going on right now. I'm getting nervous, man. I'm getting nervous. Big dog's coming in here.
I was gonna say.
I gotta get this quarter zip down.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you. He's a stud.
But you know what I mean though? Like, it was just one of those things where I like you and I said, like, getting 7 wins when they were 7-1 to start the season. Cuban was in the building for that game. I think there was the first loss against or it was one of the first losses. The first loss was to Vancouver. But even then, like, we were sitting there and we talked, and it was like, man, if the season, like, if we lost every single game from this point out, like, I would still be really happy with how everything went, considering the people that are involved, how the operation went. And it's just one of those things that makes you kind of smile, where it's like, damn, man, like, this took such a big step in the right direction. And my hope is that everybody stays in the same spots and we run this back next year.
And to add to your point, right? The start that they had 7-1, the Cuban news, Cuban being in the building, having all that buzz, and then the allure that we would potentially have Jameer Nelson joining this already 7-1 team. Like, it was just so difficult for us not to get excited about the prospects of competing in the playoffs and raising that trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah, Stack Guy Ty says, so what you're saying is Mark Cuban caused the team to not win the title. I'm gonna say no, because in case D comes up with some crazy cool business idea that I want to split with him and Cuban bites, I don't want to burn our business relationship. So get that off the screen right away. But it was awesome. It just seemed like, and one of the big things that we've seen in the past couple of years too is the attendance. Attendance was better this year. There's a guy on Reddit. I don't know who he is, but he keeps track of all the stats and attendance. And I don't know where he gets all of his numbers, but I trust them. I trust them. By the eye test, it seems like he knows what he's talking about. And he said that Brampton had, I think it was like an increase of like 10% or something this season in attendance, which is great.
there was a release of the attendance, and I was shocked to find out that, and again, this is not a shot at anyone, but I was shocked to find out that we weren't last. And I'm not going to throw the team that was in last under the bus here. But shout out to the folks in Brampton. And those playoff games were electric, man. I mean, the one game, I mean, unfortunately, where it was the fullest, had more Winnipeg fans than it did Brampton, and we didn't end up having that game. But regardless, that Niagara game was a lot of fun. That Ottawa game was a lot of fun. And just, building the momentum going into the next season, and obviously having, hopefully, fingers crossed, obviously something we can discuss, as well as hopefully the front office guys will return, because they're a big part of this. And Al Whitley heading the ship is something that makes you optimistic about the ball club.
D, a jump scare is defined as a sudden, startling event in a movie, video game, or other media designed to frighten the audience by catching them off guard, usually with a loud noise and an abrupt visual change. Whoa. That's your jump scare right there, man. That is your jump scare of the day right there. Joey Slattery in the building. Joey, founding father, welcome.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Just in the nick of time. We've got someone special here that's going to join us as well. This one, not so much of a jump scare. This one, an appropriate jump scare. Jump scare of the positive kind. Okay. Are you hanging out with us, Joey? You're going to hang out with us for a bit?
Let's hang out.
Sweet. Okay. The pride of the Lone Star State. Folks, Mr. Alex Cerda.
Hold up. Cerda, boys.
Boys, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all,
Coach. Man. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today and hanging out with us. We just have to get the right banners up here. There we go.
There we go.
Just to make sure everything's in the right positions. How's it been? Obviously, season just ended. You're back in West Coast, Best Coast time now. You just went. Was it pretty quick turnaround after everything came to a close there?
Yeah, pretty quick. Took a couple of days off and back at work already. Just trying to get back into the swing of things. I can see already Joey with the Rondo banners and everything, a little adversarial with the plaque behind me. But yeah, back to work. Things have been going well.
Yeah, we have a lot of reasons to not like Joey today.
Hey, I'm just trying to balance it out. I'm just trying to balance it out here.
Yeah, we're about a disequilibrium here, Joey. We don't want any equilibrium. Obviously, again, congratulations on behalf of the three of us on a super successful season, something that brought a lot of smiles and again, something to cheer about here in Brampton for us throughout the year. 11-13, this was your first head coaching job, professional level. What was that like for you? I mean, we talked about you throughout the season. It was interesting to kind of hear your different perspectives on things that changed and things that you liked, things that you were still working on. But overall, how did you enjoy the season from the bench boss seat?
It was great, honestly. In that role, you get to just wear so many different hats that go beyond what you guys see in terms of just like the X's and O's.
Oh, did we lose him?
Give it a second. Might come back.
Better. You guys there?
Yeah, we are.
You're good.
Take two.
I was wondering if I was talking about myself. I didn't know what was going on. Okay.
Oh, you're good. Sorry, we missed.
We need you to finish your train of thought. So you started, then you cut on us.
Okay. Yeah. Just in that leadership position, it's more than what you guys just see in terms of like the in-game coaching and things of that nature. But it's just really the daily grind, holding the standard every single day for your staff, your players, and really just trying to put other people in position to get to their better basketball opportunities at the end of the day. And hopefully we did that. I think our guys improved in terms of our players. Like they really got a lot better. Hopefully they move on to better basketball opportunities now this fall and winter, and our coaching staff as well. Really pleased and happy with, everything that they did for me and for the staff, for the team this summer. And hopefully they continue to build on their careers as well.
This season had certainly its highs and lows. I think there's the word resiliency certainly can define the season, but I'm curious on a personal level, being your first head coaching gig, obviously more to come down the line. What did you learn about yourself personally as an X and O's guys and what you had to go through?
I think and I've said it before, but it's just one of those things that you can have a sound process that could, ultimately lead to the outcomes you want. But ultimately, like, if you say that you're about the process, I think that was really challenged for me, like, because, we really try to do things the right way. And when that doesn't equate to winning, sometimes you look in the mirror like, well, what's wrong? And a lot of the times it wasn't necessarily us trying to reinvent the wheel, but it was really about us just doubling down on our culture, on our fundamentals, the things that we truly believe in. And it was just really getting back to the basics. So I think for me, I learned more than anything. If you stay the course, if you stick to your process, ultimately you can navigate through the lows to get back to where y'all need to be. And wasn't the season we all expected, and especially with how it started, but to ultimately get to that last game of the season, I'm super proud of the group.
How tough is it to build that culture and stay with it when it's such a short season and you've got players that are coming in and out? I mean, it's one thing when you've got a long training camp, but this is only 10 days. A lot of the guys that end up, going through training camp and establish that culture, a lot of them end up leaving for one reason or another. How difficult is it to maintain that in a season that's, only 24 games?
It's challenging. It's habits. It's talking about it every single day. It's our actions and living through it and living by it every single day. And the guys have to see it, and you can't fake it. The moment you fake it, or the moment that you don't believe in it and they see that, they can definitely, falter and go the other way. But, we were really about it every single day. We talked about tough. We defined that. We talked about passionate. We would define it. And anytime we would see those actions and qualities, we would, celebrate it. We talk about unified and thankfulness. And at the end of the day, too, I think unified was really big for us. Ultimately staying together, staying connected through the hard times. And you mentioned the new guys coming in. It's just really about onboarding them. You have to onboard them as quickly as you can, and not just on the floor, of course, but, trying to get them ingrained into our culture, making them comfortable. I think our players did a great job, too, of getting those guys acclimated and up to speed. And ultimately, it's a testament to our front office as well, just in terms of we wanted to bring in high character guys. And at the end of the day, we put together a group that, rallied around each other for the most part, and we went on a little run at the end.
We're going to throw you a little bit of a 12-6 curveball here, a la Texas Rangers. Are you a Rangers fan or an Astros fan?
Grew up a Rangers fan. Yeah.
Okay, good. There we go. Okay, we'll keep it on the.
I thought he would have hopped on that Dodgers bandwagon,
No,
not yet.
Either way, the Blue Jays aren't a good team for you then to be coaching in the vicinity of the Toronto Blue Jays.
All right, we're going to throw you a bit of a Nolan Ryan 12-6 curve here. So three moments from the season that we want to ask you about. Instead of just asking specific questions, I want to let you talk about these moments and what they meant to you, particularly maybe what happened, what your thoughts were, and again, you can be as open as you want. You can share with us what you like, and we just want to get your perspective on some of these. So first, we'll start with your first career win as a head coach. How awesome was that for you? What was going through your mind as that kind of played out?
Man, it's I just remember once we got that offensive rebound put back, I just pointed at Al Whitley, and he pointed back at me, and it was just like a wave of emotions, because you think about all the work. Oh, I think you guys disappeared again.
Oh, you're good. We got you.
Good.
You're getting the ice out. You're getting
put on the
ice
big
out.
stage.
Now he's nervous anytime he's alone. He's like,
Laker spotlight.
I got it now. You just think about, all the work it kind of took to get to that moment. Obviously the relationship I had with Al, working together in Texas with the legends, and to be in that moment again, the trust he had in me to lead this group this summer, and for us to culminate into that first win of the season. It was a special moment. And I would also just say winning in general, like it's not like this dopamine hit. It's really more just like a sense of relief. So really it just was a sense of relief that we didn't, mess it up. We got the win. And yeah, they gave me the water bomb shower in the back, which I expected. And it was fun. I think the guys enjoyed it and they captured the moment pretty well. So shout out to Coletta and all them for taking those photos. I'll probably get that photo framed, put it in my office one day. Just a super cool moment. So when I'm an old basketball coach, I always can look and see how young I used to look and everything. So cool moment. It was a cool moment for sure. Something I'll never forget.
Maybe you'll age like D and never get old.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
He just asked you how old you were.
How old do you think I am? And I won't be offended.
31?
Turning 39 this year.
Oh, wow, man. Hey, you look young.
I know I act like a child, so I can't blame you for saying 31.
Still chops at Gap Kids, actually.
Matt, are we tossing these around? Are we all picking a moment here?
Yeah, go ahead. You can tee up the second one if you like.
Well, now I'm really pissed because Matt got the softball one. I'll get the spicier one. I'm sure a lot of people want to know what went through your mind in that game against Scarborough. Obviously, a lot of moving pieces, a lot of antics that a lot of people don't know about. Obviously, I don't expect you to go into full detail, but can you kind of take me through step by step? I mean, from the moment it started to the end of the game, how crazy was it?
It was crazy. I would just say overall, it just felt like things were kind of brewing for a while, just throughout the season. And I think for me, it was about just challenging our group to play the right way, to play with a level of physicality and togetherness, and really just to put up a fight, no pun intended. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, like before the game, we talked about physicality and togetherness. Like I thought the game that we played against them at home, there was just a level of physicality. We got pushed around. I felt like we were disconnected. So, our game plan was simple. We were really just looking for those two things. I think there was some one-on-one battles that stem back from even the G League days that were kind of brewing out there. Guys were chirping, and it's just a part of the game. But ultimately, it got brought to a point where, you never wanted to get to that point. But everything was just like in slow motion. I was initially running out there, then I saw Tegra. It was like a heavyweight fight, him and Frank Mitchell, and it kind of just stopped me in my tracks. I was just in shock to see everything that was happening. Tough moment for both teams. You never want to see that happen. But just really happy that our guys got out of there safely. No one was really injured at the end of the day. Of course, the league, they're going to do what they have to do in terms of suspensions and whatnot. Again, something that, we did not want to see, but, it was warranted, in my opinion. And I think also, too, like in other leagues, like, listen, in soccer, if you get a red card for tripping someone, you're suspended one game. So I think the league kind of went a little bit easy, which, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But yeah, just happy that it didn't affect us too much at the end of the day. And I know it hurt Scarborough too. Obviously they got some key guys suspended. Never want to see that. Honestly, like in the locker room after the game, we talked about this is a team that we're going to see in a matter of days. We're going to win the first round, and we're going to come back here and play them again and be ready. So it's a team that we wanted to see in the playoffs, but unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
Was there a surprise at all? Like, it's funny because you brought up like some of the things that boil over from the G League. How much of that do you see? Like, not even maybe for yourself, but like players that would have played in other leagues before, because we're very like dialed in on the CBL and, the storylines throughout there. But, is that something that happens often where you kind of see the, a couple guys with the friends we see, but like the things that boil over that might have happened in another league, whether that be the G League or overseas? Did you ever see any other incidents that were maybe not as intense, but you had to tell a guy like, hey, listen, man, new team, new situation, like tone it down a little bit? I have on a long ponder. There he is. Okay.
There we go. You're back. You're back.
Did you get the question?
Yeah, I got the basis of it.
Yeah, so just basically, yeah. If you've ever seen like a guy that you had to talk to and say like, listen, man, you got to leave whatever happened with your old team in the old league. We have a new situation here. Like, did you have any other run-ins like that might not have been as intense or as clear?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's it's happened in other leagues for sure. You see it. Obviously, it doesn't come to a head like what we saw. Again, I personally don't feel like we were the instigators in a lot of this. I think it's just the way sometimes your opponent, the way that they operate and the way they move. And I think there's a level of togetherness and there's a level of us just not backing down. And so obviously, you know, we see Roddy throw a first punch, but again, I think there's a lot that goes in before that moment that people do not see. So I definitely take blame and take part of, you know, our doing in this whole situation. But it's just one of those things like, yeah, you know, guys get into it. They've been chirping for weeks, whatever the case may be. You know, again, we talked about it. Some people had beef going all the way back to years ago. But again, it's something that you just never wanted to get to that point. You know, we want to play basketball at the end of the day. We want to finish the game. Unfortunately, we did not finish the game the way we should have. Again, playing 5-on-5 in the second half. It's not the way we wanted to end the season. Like, that was ridiculous at the end of the day. So we want to play the best and, you know, have an opportunity to beat the best. And unfortunately, we didn't have an opportunity to do that.
Before we get to the last moment here, did you at least get a chance to like meet Drake in the mix there? Was that
Just go to shake his hand real quick?
Yeah, like I would have been like, hey man, love your music, but just like can it for now. Like, was there at least any sort of like shoulder brush or anything kind of cool?
Yeah, so in the back, you guys probably know, like in Scarborough in the arena, our locker rooms are literally like 5 feet away from each other. So we were back there trying to get everyone back to the locker room safely. And there was just like a crowd of people back there. No idea who half of them were. Some of them came out of the stands. But security did a good job of, you know, steering those people away. But to answer your question, I just, in the chaos, it just felt like Drake spawned out of nowhere in front of me, like 5 feet in front of me. And through this whole like mess, and I'm glad he was back there because I think just with him, it kind of cooled the tensions a little bit, which was good. And one of my assistants, Taylor Boris, he kind of leans over to me and he was like, "Coach, like I know this is not the right time right now, but holy shit, that's Drake." I was like, "Taylor, not now, not now, not now. I'm trying to make sure that our guys are safe." But it was fun. It's a funny moment now looking back at it. But yeah, it was kind of cool that he was in the mix ultimately at the end of the day. And I think it kind of prevented other stuff from happening since he was there in our presence.
It's funny because I was talking to Trent and he was like, he was struggling because he's such a huge fan. He's like, in one moment, I'm trying to control my emotions and yet things are heated. And the next thing I'm like, he said the same thing. And the fan of me couldn't help but freak out and know that Drake was right there, you know, 5 steps away. So it's funny that Taylor said that though. Yeah,
bittersweet moment from Trent for sure. I know he didn't listen to Drake for a few days, but after that, you know, he was wearing the OVO gear, you know, within a week. So
that's funny.
I'm glad things cooled over.
And he bounced back. They the saying in Toronto is the sixth god is always watching. So it makes sense that he was he spawned out of nowhere and was on scene. Last moment we have for you here. One of the times in the season where we saw you probably get the most fired up was when you clinched a playoff spot. Sean drives to the middle of the key, hits that floater off the window, and you guys are headed to the postseason, something that we hadn't seen in a number of years here in Brampton. Take us through that moment. I mean, you are the guy that orchestrated the show that brought us this moment that we've been dying for, and how much did that mean to you?
Man, it meant a lot, and I know it meant a lot for the city of Brampton, for the people that's been within the organization for the last few years and have been a part of the struggle. You know, really just happy for them that they got to be a part of a team that could, you know, we're trying to leave it better than what we found it, and to take a step in the right direction to make the postseason. It was huge, especially with how the season was going. You guys know the struggles that we were going through. And for us to get there and clinch that was big. And honestly, for me, you talk about being fired up. I was just happy that we beat Montreal. Were they even making the postseason? Like, I felt like we had our number. Again, just they are a team that competes and plays extremely hard. And I just felt like it was a bad matchup for us. So I think I was more or less just fired up that we beat Montreal. But yeah, I definitely remember that moment. I kind of blacked out for a second, but I do remember giving you a high five, which I probably should not have done. But great job.
We
That's the
loved
first
it.
thing Matt said to me too.
We loved it.
Yeah, great job by you for just staying dialed in and staying focused, doing your job. So I'm sorry if I was any part of a distraction.
Not at all. We loved it. The DJI camera gave us some cool shot of you walking by, just the drive-by high five, which was and Joe to get Joe to smile too. That was pretty. That was pretty good too. So that's a tough task on some days. Just kidding, Zio Joe. We're joking. But so all those moments obviously special throughout the season, and then it kind of comes to a peak. You get to the playoffs. You take down Ottawa. You take down Niagara. Khalil Ahmad, one of the clutchest playoff players in the league's history, which is a huge check mark on your resume. And then you get to the finals, and in the finals, obviously facing a really good Winnipeg team. I mean, this was like one of the toughest atmospheres to play in across the Canadian Elite Basketball League. But take us through before we get to that game in Winnipeg, what kind of happened in Brampton and your thoughts on kind of the situation as to that was game one of this finals.
It was just unfortunate. You know, I know the league was excited about introducing this 3-game series. And for us not to be able to go out there and to do so, it's tough, you know. Just it changes the dynamics of the whole thing. And I understand, you know, all of the reasons behind making it a 1-game series. And I fully believe in, you know, our response to that and that issue with the court, and something that we're just going to have to live with at the end of the day. But at the end, more so embarrassed more than anything else in that moment of just not being able to play game one in front of the fans, the people that, you know, pay their hard-earned money to enjoy that game. The energy in that building for a Brampton game was big, and just couldn't hold our end of the bargain at the end of the day, which was tough. But you quickly have to adapt, improvise, and overcome, and, you know, put your mindset to the next game in Winnipeg at the end of the day and be focused on that. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Hopefully going forward, you know, we can take precaution for that situation to not happen again. And, you know, trying to move and quicker to a backup plan, which I don't think there was a lot of great options. I think the 1-game series was the best option. As tough as a pill it is to swallow, that was the best option ultimately at the end of the day, and you just have to go with it.
And you didn't have much time to make that decision either, right? I mean, everybody kind of like we were there. It was chaotic from the outside, and then I see everybody being rushed to the back, you know, to have this kind of emergency meeting, which I thought has to be tough on the coaches, particularly because, you know, you're dialed in, you're just getting into the game, and now suddenly you got to kind of let the steam go and figure out what do we do next. You know, maybe you can give us a little insight in terms of what happened, like in those moments after the decision was made, and how you kind of move forward to come to this conclusion.
Yeah, I know the league front office, they laid out all the options. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we had to be very decisive. Like, we had to make a decision there soon. And honestly, none of the options were great if you're a Brampton fan. But ultimately, you know, they're mulling over these options. And I don't think anyone wanted to make the final decision because, you know, again, ultimately, I felt like it hurt us a little bit. And I felt like everyone, even Winnipeg themselves, were trying to be as fair as possible. I was just kind of sitting there silent for a few minutes. And I think everyone needed someone from Brampton to essentially say, hey, like, the 1-game series it is. And so I just remember in that moment just saying, hey, guys, we'll play 1 game on Saturday. And then I think it got the ball rolling. So wasn't necessarily in favor of it, but I just ultimately think that we didn't have a better option. And ultimately, too, like, we have to take fault in this. Like, this was some of our doing at the end of the day. And so we have to live with it and move forward at the end of the day. So tough decision overall for everyone. But to your point, like, we had to make a decision rather quickly.
It was historic in a few fronts. It was supposed to be the first, you know, series. We've never seen a playoff game canceled, you know, for a wet floor or anything for that matter. But then you move, speaking of that decision and what had to be made, I think that was a big reason why you saw, a league record in attendance on Saturday, knowing that it was a winner take all. What was that experience like? I mean, I know the Winnipeg atmosphere really well. And even there were times this year where it was kind of a little under what we expected for a lot of the year. And then on that game to have 12,500 plus people in there. I mean, aside from the game itself, what was that experience like for you as a head coach going into a winner take all game in an atmosphere and environment like that?
I think in the moment, you're not really thinking about anything else externally besides the game plan and executing and doing the things that go into winning. As boring as that sounds, that's what my focus was. Now, obviously, reflecting back on that moment, it was pretty cool atmosphere. To be in that arena in front of that many fans that are against you. It's something that I always will look back on as a growth moment for me as a coach and as a team. And unfortunately, we didn't pull out the victory. But I told the team post game, like, we're going to be able to learn from this. And for you in your careers, take this. And one day you will be a champion because of this moment right now, this difficult moment, this difficult situation that we find ourselves in. You're going to learn from it, get better, and you'll be better off for it in the future. It's one of those things like I think the crowd was the difference maker. It was just the perfect storm with, how the Winnipeg team and the roster shaped up going into the postseason. I think they were firing on all cylinders. They were playing a new style of basketball. I think Xavier Moon elevated everyone around him, and they were very tough. And you combine that with the atmosphere, the crowd, that if I'm being honest, like there's no other crowd like that in the CBL. And so I felt like there was a moment there in the second quarter where when the crowd really got into it, I felt like it rattled us and we weren't able to really get back into the game after that moment. So again, it's cool moment to reflect on now, and ultimately, as tough as it is, it's going to make all of us better for it going forward.
And that was a record 12,519 fans in the Canada Life Center in what was a crazy finish there. So obviously this was, again, like we said, a huge success of a season. Again, for like before you came on here, D and I were talking, and I said, well, from a coach's perspective, it probably may seem like a failure in the sense that you didn't win. But for us, this was like we won 7 times over because there were so many steps taken in the right direction for the franchise, whether it be yourself or Al and company that are running the front office or the players on the floor. But you've now had your first experience with the Canadian Elite Basketball League outside of just being a fan of it, actually being involved in the action. I want to ask you about some of the things that you thought about rules and kind of unique touches that the league has that are different from what you would experience, let's say, in the G League or the NBA. One of the hot topics that seems to have kind of cast over the media world around the CEBL is the Canadian import rule, the Canadian player rule and the imports, the players coming from outside of Canada. Was there any, I know that's hard to manage throughout a season because you're crunching the numbers, you make sure the guys are in the right spots and you have to be cognizant of that. But how hard was that to kind of manage throughout your time with Brampton?
Yeah, it's tough. Honestly, first game of the season, that's one of my main concerns stepping into this role is obviously the import rule. First game of the season, I got a tech for having too many imports out there. And it was super embarrassing, if I'm being honest with you guys. Didn't happen again, but it's something I had to get adjusted to. And then ultimately just a revolving door of having up to 5 imports on your team. It's a lot to manage and to handle. And there's a level of technicality that goes with it in terms of figuring out the right rotations and the right pieces that fit next to each other. Ultimately, I know people have alluded to what it's going to be going forward, maybe having 4 imports on the court and just 1 Canadian. I'm not personally a fan of that. I think you kind of lose the essence of the league and what it is. So I think as much as we can keep the 2 Canadians on the floor at all times, I'm pro Canadian when it comes to that. and giving those guys a space to go out there and excel, because it is the CBL at the end of the day. But ultimately, too, just moving forward, I would just say, I think what's the push for it to move to 4 or to no Canadians at all, even, is just the rat race of trying to win games, and people are trying to one up each other. And I think what you're seeing is, and you see it in every league in the world, people are willing to do whatever it takes to have the most talented team to go out there to win a championship at the end of the day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think at the end of the day, you need to have Canadians on the floor. So hopefully we have 2 Canadians still going forward next summer as well.
I like that answer too, because I just think of, even, not to bring this up, but like from a Canadian standpoint, the way the game ended here in Winnipeg, a guy that grew up without professional basketball, was a volleyball player, turns into a basketball player, and then has an iconic moment that will live on in Winnipeg sports lore forever. I mean, and as you come to know, it's not a novelty out here. I mean, it's really a part of the sports fabric, but that'll happen because a Canadian got a chance through university, through that partnership with the league, to develop with pros, elevate his game, go to the NCAA, refine his game, and now he's going to have a great pro career. And he's one example, Simon Hildebrand, of many, right? And Brampton's seen there, like David Wencat, for instance, right, who's played in Brampton and Scarborough, is another one. So I agree with you. I think there's a need here too, and also from a marketing standpoint, going through with the league, it's hard to market players who you don't know is going to be in and out. It's a little bit easier to peg down a guy that is from the area or is Canadian, where there's kind of that reserved spot that I think helps kind of promote the league a little bit and what it's about. But it's just, it's nice to hear that, that's something that you believe in too, as a coach who came in through the United States and is very aware of the talent out there, but understanding the global part of this. And there aren't many leagues out there that don't have an import rule, regardless of where it is. So I agree with you. I was willing to live with whatever answer you had, but I do appreciate that, you see the importance in that.
Yeah, we don't care about the Winnipeg opinion, Joey. We don't care about it. Sorry.
No, listen, at the end of the day, too, like as tough of a moment it is for us, like it was pretty cool to see a hometown kid hit that shot. And much respect to Hildebrand. He's a tough, hard-nosed player. And then, again, all of those pieces just fit so well headed into the playoffs. And to see him just take that next step and just be ready when his number was called, I'm happy for him, honestly, really, truly am. And we sent a double team at Xavier Moon because we just simply were not going to let him game us, right? So it's pick your poison, and he got an open shot and an opportunity to hit it, and he made a big time shot.
So you've talked about something you wouldn't change. What's a change that you would like to see the league make or consider for the future of this sport? Like, I know you brought up target time a few times and how much of a nightmare was to plan for that. Is that something that you could still go back for?
I think, again, like the CBL is so special because of those like pieces and components. And target time is something that it's this unique thing that I do enjoy. One thing that I would change is the reviews. I would hope that we would and again, I know it's the camera angles, this, that, the other. I would bring back the reviews. I know it's a FIBA game, but also just the usages of timeouts, especially just, coaching in the States for so long. You can call a timeout when it's your possession. And in FIBA, it has to be a dead ball. That just little things like that, like the timeout usages, reviews. I think it'll make the game even better. And I know it sounds like a coach, but coach speak at the end of the day. But just more timeouts in general. Like you typically get 6 or 7 in the G and the NBA, and just having the limited timeout options. It's tough. It's tough at the end of the day. So just little things like that, little changes, marginal.
Even the FIBA rules. I mean, I like that you brought that up because target score time, this is the only FIBA league that plays with it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think the league's in a good phase to explore these things, particularly the timeouts. I think that's a thing that a lot of players, probably players and coaches, deal with. That and even just playing the ball off the rim. You tend to see that early in the season where, guys aren't as aggressive on the ball because of the, the NBA rule that it's out of play. But in FIBA, you can go grab it as soon as it's off the iron, right? So, that I think, and it's going to be an interesting offseason for that for sure to see, because you're a young league. And I think it's still kind of tailoring what works and what doesn't. But it's interesting from the timeout standpoint, because we're just so used to it, right? Like watching university basketball and mostly FIBA rules outside of the NBA. But that is a tough thing to come around, I imagine, as a head coach particularly.
Yeah, it's something we had to adjust to. And Matt, appreciate you. I remember you talking about, our usages of timeouts early in the season. But yeah, you got to be careful. You only get a couple. And so you have to really pick and choose. And how you use your timeouts are super important, especially when you have so little of them.
Can I ask one more question, sorry, as it pertains to Canadian basketball and FIBA rules? How did you find the adjustment going to 10-minute quarters?
Yeah.
As he takes a sip.
That water couldn't be more full. Yeah.
That's a good question. I would love for the game to be 12 minutes. Selfishly, just sometimes it will be the third quarter and it's like halfway through, I'm like, boy, this game is going by fast. Like no coach none of us are calling timeouts. The refs aren't calling fouls. The game is just breezing by. And I think it will definitely help the league as well, just in terms of if you increase the amount of time being played, you're ultimately going to increase the score of the game. Just more bang for your buck as a fan. So I would love for them to move to 12 minutes a quarter. I think that would be great, especially since you cut the game in the fourth. It's a 6-minute. It's a 6-minute quarter, ultimately in the fourth quarter, and then you go straight to target, and that could last forever. As I found out, I think one time we had like a almost half-hour target score game in Niagara, which was just a bloodbath. And then we went to Saskatoon, and target time ended like in 2 minutes. Yeah. So you just never know. But yeah, I would definitely love to see them move to 12 minutes.
Did you ever have a sense of like, oh man, like, oh, this is just a 10-0 run, and then look at the time like, oh my gosh, that was a 10-0 run against us? Like, I feel like with a coach, I don't remember if it was this year or years before, but talking to a G League coach, and that was like the first thing he said was, yeah, like, what's not very urgent in the G League becomes incredibly urgent in CEBL because of that lack of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the FIBA game ultimately. And I think that's why teams like overseas, they play slower, just because every possession matters more, right? So when you have a shorter game, you have to take care of it that much more, which, by the way, we did not do in the finals well, if I had to say, which is a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, I would love for them to move to 12. But yeah, at the same time, like, I get why it's at 10. And we have to adjust to it.
All right, this is a one we're going to need you to participate with. We're using your hand. That was a terrible way to describe that. Okay, coming into the season, target score time. Were you this, or this on it? What was your thought on it? And then when leaving the season, are you this, or this on it?
I'll stay here. Yeah.
Medium. In the middle. Okay. So your impression of it was like solid, but something you would change about it, or what's your kind of vibe on the closing chapter of the season with it?
Solid. I appreciate it. Would love to see.
Would your opinion be different as a head coach compared to a player, compared to as a fan?
Yeah, I think so. Because again, as a fan, I loved it. I love watching target score. It's great. It's fun to watch. I think there's so much strategy beyond that goes into it as a coach that you just have to prepare for, which honestly, I really am proud of how we handled target score more times than not this year. But yeah, it's a level of strategy that's new, which is a new, unique challenge for me. I'm indifferent by it. Like, if I coached again in CBL, I want target score to stay. But I think, a basketball purist at heart, and, just prefer the game to hit zeros at the end. But no, target score is unique. It's great. I think it's great for the league as well. So I would keep it. I would keep it if it was up to me.
The one thing I've always said that since, because we were only introduced to it through the CEBL, But the cool thing about it is learning to work under pressure, right? Because the first thing we notice when teams have a lead, especially early in the season, it's like, oh, we're just 9 points away. We just got to get these 9 points. We're out of here. And then the other team has that sense of like, you got to keep playing through. You just never know what can happen. But there's also every game's an opportunity for a guy to step up in a moment for a game-winning shot that doesn't present itself often in the traditional game, right? Where you're managing clock towards the end. Was there any value in that from a development standpoint where you have to put players in positions to win games?
For sure. We prepared as much as possible for those moments to really talk about our philosophies and what's a good shot, what's not a good shot, and how we want to operate. We had our crunch time plays, get the ball to certain guys in certain parts of the floor, maybe attack a poor defender. And sometimes, again, to your point of like onboarding you guys throughout the year, I think sometimes you saw some people on our team shoot like the hero shot. And I would say the most dangerous part of that target score is when you're 3 points away. When you're 3 points away, the teams just lose their mind. And for us, it just did not work well. Like when we're 3 points away and we feel like we have to like win the game on our own, I felt like we were at our best when we just operated kind of normally. We look to attack, break the paint, get to the rim, collapse the defense. Now, if we have an open shot, we'll take the open shot. If it's a three, it's a three. But it's a high pressure moment. So as a coach, it makes you better to think and analyze the games. And, obviously big time players hit big time shots in those moments. And you just try to put them in the best positions possible as a coach.
Last one on the target time. You could do the Matt Bonomi thumb answer. Target score being implemented in the G League and or NBA as overtime.
Well, it's already in the G.
Okay.
In overtime. In the NBA, I would say this. I think guys would just revolt against it. I think guys would be stuck in their ways. It will never probably happen in the NBA, but it is a unique part of the game in the G League for sure. Okay. And honestly, it made me a better coach. And I don't think a lot of times we prepare for those moments in overtime in the G League just because it doesn't happen often. But to now have a whole summer of experience of how to handle target score, I think it will make me a better prepared coach anytime I see overtime in the G League going forward.
Oh, interesting. That's awesome.
All right. So you are clearly, I'm going to guess, you're at the Lakers facility right now?
Yeah.
Okay. That was probably a good guess, right? Joey's at the Celtics facility up there.
I can see that.
Yeah. So you're in off-season mode now? I don't really know. I mean, for us, it's CEBL off-season mode, but for you, it's right back at it. What are your plans? What's next for you? Do you have anything fun coming up? Anything that
give us breaking news?
Yeah, D, I knew this question was going to come. So no breaking news that I can really share with you guys at the moment, but good things on their way. I'm excited for the Coachella Valley season. A lot of logistics that we're trying to figure out here. About where we're going to practice, where we're going to live essentially as well, that we're just trying to maneuver through. But yeah, really excited for this upcoming year. It'll be great. And in terms of what we're doing right now, our guys just had pickup today. We're playing 5-on-5, getting up and down the court. Guys are in the gym, in the facility, working out, just ramping up for this season. So it's fun. It's actually a lot of work. August and September leading into the season. A lot goes into it, just trying to get prepared for the upcoming season.
I was just going to say that, we've told John Ross, Matt and I are going to make a road trip to Utah. So we have LA on our tour stop.
Trip.
Not road trip. I know.
I'm not getting in a car with you for
a figure of speech. But when we come to the West Coast, we expect you to take us to the equivalent of Earl's out there. All right.
I got you, man. We've got a lot of good eats out here. Whether it be here or Palm Springs, I'll have some spots for you guys.
Beautiful. Okay, to cap this whole thing off, I want you to share with us one memory or story that was something that you will remember from your year in Brampton. One memory or story. Could be funny, could be heartwarming, could be a career moment. anything that you think would be appropriate to share right now?
And don't forget, we handed you a T-shirt, eh?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
really
well,
cool.
what a pump that was, D. Don't say that. Don't use that as the answer.
That was really cool.
I know that's not it, but don't say that.
I would just say my wife loves the shirt. Apparently, Trey Flowers asked for I think he talked to you, Matt, about ordering some more.
Yeah. Well, we're in the works.
Target Score might be coming on Target Score Marketplace soon enough.
Yeah, we're working on it. It will happen.
We're talking to the facilities in China. We're making it work.
When you get a message asking for an address, we're not in the neighborhood. We're just sending stuff. So
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I wasn't sure how real that is, and I'm just like, Trent, don't do that. But if he wants one, I won't hold him back. Honestly, the moment for me that comes to my mind is just when we beat Niagara to make it to the finals. Again, it was just I was just in disbelief ultimately at the end of the day. So happy for our guys, and you think about all of the ups and downs of the season, and for us to reach the finals, we're a sub 500 team making it to the finals. Like, when does that happen? It was such a great moment. I don't think there was a camera on me, but I remember when we made the shot, my hands just went to my head, and I was just like, what is life? It's so hard to make it to a championship game. I've been a professional coach for about 10 years now. I had never been a part of a championship game in 10 years, working in the G League and the NBA. And so I know how special of a moment that is. After the game, I was pretty emotional, and I usually don't get emotional, but I was pretty emotional just because I was happy for the guys. I know what winning can lead to for their careers. And so it was just such a great moment. And obviously for the fans and everything they've endured over the last few years. My whole ultimate goal was just to essentially leave Brampton better than I found it. And I think we took a great step in the right direction year one.
Absolutely.
Sounds like it was valuable. Do you see yourself ever coming back?
I would love to, man. I would never say no to that. It just depends on my next contract and how things go here. But yeah, I would love to.
Either way, we're gonna have another T-shirt designed for you. That's our promise on our end. That'll be regardless of what happens.
Either way, I'm definitely gonna be in Toronto in some capacity next summer.
Yes.
We'll catch you at Cactus Club or Earl's. Peach Bellini's on me.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. One way or another, I'll be back in Toronto at some point.
Absolutely. Well, I think we could probably talk for hours how thankful we are to have you in Brampton and everything you've done for basketball fans in the GTA and this summer stint. And D and I know Joey has watched you from afar and has admired your abilities in leading the team too, and what you turned out in Brampton this year. And D and I, again, firsthand, appreciate everything that you've done and done for us and done for the team and made all this possible and finally brought a smile to our faces, basketball focused in Brampton once again. So thank you again for everything this season and best of luck this year with the Coachella squad. And we hope to see you one day coaching Mr. Doncic and company.
Yeah. No,
Also, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you guys are awesome. I just have to say that just, you guys and how you follow the team, high level stuff, man. So I really appreciate you guys just taking the time and just getting me acclimated to Canada, man.
Well, I was going to say, if you guys need a broadcast team or a podcast team out in Coachella, I know it's not as cold in Toronto, but in Winnipeg, it's freezing.
My wife would love to live on the West Coast. That's for damn sure.
It sounds like your wife runs your life, D. Everything's like trips planned around her.
See,
this and that.
Can you tell Matt's not married?
Yeah. Happy wife, life. I get it.
Exactly.
It's going to be like one of those, what's the movie, D? Batman, where at the end of the movie, the paper drops and it's like Christian Bale on the other side of the patio at the end there. That's what it's going to be like. Us at Cactus, we're going to drop the paper and Cerda's going to be on the other side drinking a Bellini. So downtown Toronto, Adelaide location. But thanks again, Coach. Appreciate everything you've done for us. And thanks for taking the time today. And always a blast. And we hope to see you at some point in the future.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Stay in touch.
You
awesome.
bet, man.
Take care.
Best of luck out there. Talk to you soon. That was awesome.
That is the GOAT.
God, I love that guy.
The GOAT, Mr. Cerda. Man, I
love how you dropped the movie reference this episode. We've had a couple of those, D. He's out
Full
movie
circle.
referencing you.
My
D calls
boy's
me
growing. He's growing.
Uncultured swine, and then all of a sudden I get things sorted out.
So that's also a movie reference. I'll let you figure out where that movie what it comes
I'm
from.
not answering that. I'm keeping that one for the comments.
Was it?
Man,
Sounds like it come from like Peter Pan.
You're no,
Is it
not
Hook?
close. No,
What's it from?
Toy Story.
Oh,
what? I don't even know. That should be my era too, and I still don't know what that's
Mr.
from.
Potato says it to the pig. That's why he says swan.
yes.
Oh my gosh, you immature fool.
Your movie memory bank.
I'm
my
31, boys. I'm 31. Just remember that.
God. You're gonna live off that forever. I saw Wiggins in the chat too. That's great, man. After Wiggins basically just ripped target score away from. Did you guys see that in the group chat?
Yeah,
No.
I did.
Wiggins just removing all of his collabs. Says I'm done with target score.
No.
Yeah, it was breaking my heart, man. Breaking my heart.
Oh.
So, Cannonball Chris dropping the cannonball on us. I was so sad when I
there we go.
saw that on the account. Oh, it was great to have him though, right? I mean, we gotta love Chris.
Yeah,
You guys call him Cannonball Chris. I call him Care Bear Chris. All right. I love Chris.
Give him a big hug.
Oh man, that
What were
was
you gonna say?
no. I was just gonna say that was like I feel like every time we've talked to Cerda, whether it's in person or on the pod, it's how lucky we are to have that guy in Brampton. D, and you know what? Like as much as I would say, I obviously want him to come back. I think it's in the cards? Probably not, because he's at a point now where he's up to bigger and better, and he's taken that step now, and he's proved that he can take a team to a championship in Canada's pro league. That's that step up to what he needed to kind of get to the next step. And man, I mean, it's just bittersweet, right? Because you want him back so badly, but you also want him to go and do his thing and get to the point where he has the opportunity to get to the highest level. And oh, what's this guy doing? He's getting the dill. I know exactly what he's doing. He's getting the dill sauce. Watch this. What's it called? Dill?
Honey dill sauce. Honey
dill sauce. Yeah.
I thought he was going to get the genie's cake because John McTavish is saying that.
I see Johnny Boy going off in here about the cake.
Johnny, you are right, man. I'm obsessed with the honey dill sauce. I'm already like halfway through the bottle here. This ish is like crack, man. I'm telling you, it's so good.
Man.
But if you want to send me some Jenny's cakes, I'll take some.
Oh man, Genie's cakes. Now you're getting nothing.
So I gotta send this to you.
Mention the Rough Riders and make sure you say Genie's.
Yeah, that was like I wasn't sure you were getting out of Winnipeg safely at that point. It's friendly Manitoba until you bring up the Riders in some capacity as equal or better than Winnipeg. I was like,
I love as soon as we bring up Winnipeg stuff, the view counts just go up. This is ridiculous.
I was also gonna say I came across a video I'm gonna send to you guys. There's this one guy that does like top 10 foods in like all the different regions and provinces. There's one for Ontario that I was like shocked on a few of them, and there's one for Manitoba that I thought was like super accurate. So, and
what
some
was on Ontario?
To tell you about
Beaver Tails.
Cerda's not joining us anymore, by the way.
Yeah, Beaver Tails was there. I also found out canola oil was created in Winnipeg.
Canola oil is terrible for you. Canola oil is
so yeah. So apparently that was the other thing it talks about, that it actually takes out the worst parts of canola and that it's not as bad as people make it out to be from the cholesterol standpoint. But
no, but you know what it does?
Oh God, this isn't a health podcast.
It causes inflammation on your your.
What are you, Tom Brady? Do you not eat tomatoes either,
bro? Let me just. I'm always cocked back, ready to throw whenever you need me to. What's the Jameis Winston thing? Go like this and.
That's a Dak Prescott thing, isn't it?
Dak Prescott. Yeah. Dak Prescott. Yeah.
Yeah. Dubai just paid me $30 million to go play a flag football game. But no, I swear to God, it's actually not good for you. It's not good for you because it inflames your inners.
Now, do you want to piss off the whole prairies? That's a big part of our economy.
Hey, you know what? All I'm gonna say is we don't have canola
Matt
oil.
Totally sleeps in bamboo pajamas too.
No, you don't want to know how I sleep. That's
no, I don't. I don't.
I sleep the healthiest way possible.
Want to know. I have experience.
You can Google exactly. Yeah, D slept in a room with me. Oh man. Okay, that was great. A ton of fun. Great way to end the season. Joey, what do we have going on in the off season? We'll have some episodes a couple times.
Yeah, we'll have a few here and there. Probably do some more might not all be like local throughout the off season. Probably have a few collab shows and just kind of go over some things. As I say all the time, send us messages. At Joey Slattery TV, at Matt Bonomi, and at Danung Balsera, right? That's for everybody's Instagram. Send us DMs if you have ideas. We had a live show yesterday at Finn McCool's. And sorry for those that tuned in for the Winnipeg show. It was super late. We had a little bit of issues trying to figure out the setup, but it all worked out. It was a lot of fun for those who showed up. But people were giving us feedback, there on the spot, and we're going to listen to it all. Let us know what you want to hear in the off season, right? It could just be going over memories. It could be mailbags with fans. We could talk U Sports. We're probably going to have something like that anyway, as a different branch. But just send us feedback. Let us know what you guys would like, and we're definitely going to get together throughout the off season. This was a ton of fun, man. The growth on this channel this year has been insane. We've been in Winnipeg for 3 years, and we saw a huge jump in the last 3 months, 2 to 3 months. And we had a great time. These live shows have been awesome. That's one of the best feedback we got. So I appreciate you guys finally jumping on board after it took you guys a while to get on the live shows. But the fans love it. It's great to interact with the fans and build that community. And that's the word that keeps coming back is the appreciation of the community. And that makes me feel good. You guys have had, it seems like you guys have had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun joining the shows, and I really appreciate your dedication. It's not easy to do this every week. I know you're both, I know Dee's busy, but
dude, I'm I'm late for I'm already an hour and a half late for something that I should have been at.
Yeah. It's totally not employment related, and it's probably saving your liver. So you're welcome. But
he laughs.
I'm going across the GTA and raiding pantries to get rid of canola oil. That's what I'm doing.
Cannonball Chris and anti canola Bonomi.
Yeah.
But actually, if you put Bonomi and canola together, it's cannoli. That's good. So those aren't good for you either.
Joey's point, the reason we were able to get the access that we did is because of guys like Cerda, full circle. If it wasn't, again, I don't mean to throw anyone under the bus or throw anybody behind the woodshed, so to speak, but the previous regime, it didn't afford us the access, and there wasn't a lot for us to work with beyond just the day-to-day coverage and covering whatever games we were assigned to. But this season, with the likes of Al Whitley, John Ross, Cerda, even the players, Elias, a huge shout out to him as well. We're not able to go above and beyond if it isn't for those guys and their commitment to putting this team on a larger pedestal, and the passion that they showed just rubbed off on us as well. So we wouldn't have made that trip if it wasn't for those guys as well, right? Shut up, Matt. Just keep talking.
I'll say this though, shout out to you guys, because you guys also created that space, right? Coming on board and doing this, making it your own. That's the other thing that I really appreciated about this season. Whether it was Brampton, Winnipeg, or Vancouver, each show was different, had its different vibes. You guys made it your own. Everybody loved listening to you guys, man. There's a huge Winnipeg contingent, especially when you guys started going live, that wanted to be part of it. And I think, and I hope you saw that when you came to Winnipeg, for the finals. But you guys deserve credit. I'm grateful for you guys. You guys took this seriously, and you're the reason why these guys came on the show, because you built those relationships and got that trust. So thank you guys. Matt is, as humble as he is, I know it's hard for you to hear this.
Hulk Hogan over there.
But no, I really do appreciate you guys this year, and I'm looking forward to the growth of what this is going to become. As we've mentioned, I can't give you much because we're still working on it. Not really sure how it's going to grow, but the plan is to grow this to other markets next year and make this more of a complete network. And I'm just so happy that you guys were a part of it. You guys are well ingrained in this league too. You guys were guys that didn't need to do this. It was added value for everybody, but you guys are already set in the CBL, have your respect with the league and know these players. And I think it helped the show out a ton. And I think you guys, set a high bar in year one. And I'm looking forward to year 2 and beyond. But no, it was an absolute blast with you guys. And I think the best part for me, selfishly, is growing that community for us to not only talk. At first, it was just us. It was cool to have you guys, Chris and Andrew, be able to talk about CBL and other teams, and have that kind of just that community, that friendship of just I love the league and I love talking about it. But then when I found out there's a lot of people that like that, and now we're seeing the community grow, whether it be in Winnipeg, Vancouver, or Brampton, and that's really cool too. So I think, you guys can take some pride in, understanding that you've set up that platform for people to tune in, and connect with you guys and talk about the league and teams that they love, whether that's Brampton or not. There's a reason why the show's been so successful, and it's not necessarily because it was, just Brampton. I think it's because other people gravitated to you guys as well.
We actually have some news to break too, on Bonomi's behalf, on my behalf as well. We will actually be rebranding the podcast to Target Score Coachella Lakers. So I just want people to know the network will be extending to a bigger market. We're looking forward to the opportunities, and we're excited to cover Cerda and the Lakers.
To be fair,
season.
I would,
there's Target Score in the G League, so it still works.
I would do that in a heartbeat. I would do that in a heartbeat, man. The G League's sick.
Let's do that. Let's just all go on our own and try and affiliate with a team. Just randomly start covering G League teams. I'm gonna go to Maine. I'm gonna go. Well, they're
of
the
course,
Celtics
you're
now,
going
the
to
Red
Maine.
Claws. Yeah.
Oh no, that's
beautiful,
what a
beautiful area.
cop-out.
What can I say?
What a cop-out answer. But thank you, Joey. Seriously, thank you, Founding Father, for giving D and I the chance to talk a bunch of random nonsense on here every week, which has been a ton of fun. Thank you to the folks that have tuned in and had fun with us. Those in the chat right now, Stack Guy Ty, John McTavish, and Cannonball Chris was in here a little bit earlier.
I want to bring this one up. That's like our big winter festival that you guys should come out to. It's unreal.
Oh, okay. I threw it in translator, and Festival du Voyageur was French. Was actually French for we're comping the flights. So that's what. Yeah, that's. I don't know. Maybe my translator.
Oh, we both came up with the same result.
Yeah. Oh man,
we'll get Tours of Manitoba on it. They'll throw you something, I'm sure.
What word is that?
What are we looking at?
What does that mean? I watched Bonomi covering Fenerbahce. What?
I'm not even sure.
He can't hear us, so he probably has no idea what
that's got to be something spelled backwards. Is that Pig Latin? Pig Latin. I'm gonna go with Pig Latin. Pig Latin. Anyway, yeah. Okay, we'll have something throughout the off season. I know we were planning on getting Al Whitley on here today.
True.
But he had some stuff to tend to. Obviously, busy off season for those guys too. So at some point, we flirted with the idea of getting him throughout the off season. Obviously, again, we're expecting a ton of news to break throughout the off season, particularly maybe around a commissioner. Again, speculation, but maybe around a commissioner and other fun things, guys coming back, whatever it may be. So we'll always find opportunities to hop on with you, Joey, if you're down and around, and whatever it may be.
Sounds good. Just it's a Turkish basketball team that he was saying.
Yeah, I just saw that. Start
you can cover that.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, so he's saying we could all pick teams. So yeah, so Matt has Turkey, D has Coachella, and I guess I'll take Maine. So that makes a lot of sense.
You know what? The only turkey I want and I'm interested in is the one that's going to be hitting my table on Monday, October 12th on the fun celebration that is Thanksgiving. Second Monday in October each year, folks. Don't forget it. Do not forget it. Joey, do you want to do the honors and play the music for us? Do you want to play us out?
Yeah,
Can you get this? Because I did it once off the top here and I kind of pured it and I don't want to leave on a negative. I'm just going to let me know when it starts.
It's gone. You got like 8 seconds.
Thanks for joining us on the Target Score podcast. Brampton version, I guess.